Yo, what's up, everybody? All right, so today is the official release for my comic book, digital, of course, Rebel Defenders. It's been over a year that I've been talking about this, that I announced it, and here we are today. Finally, it's here. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's been buying it, everybody that's been showing the support, the love. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. And it's incredible to see, how many people are actually showing the support. I'm surprised, and this is good. Finally, like I'm able to talk about it. Finally, I'm able to, like, actually present it to you, and we're here checking it out because, like I said, it's time to make a difference when it comes to this entertainment and stuff like that. Let's see. Where's the Marvel? What's up? Finally, a stream where I'm also able to watch. How are you doing, mate? I'm good, my friend. I'm good. What about you? Yeah, man. I just decided to go live, and I said, you know what? Screw it. I was about to make a video, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just go live instead. So, I'd rather just interact with y'all and stuff like that. And of course, with the release of my comic today, finally, like it's been a long road, but you know what, man, it's worth it. Finally, is it's done. Issue one is done, so I'm happy that that's actually a done deal, and we're able to finally enjoy it and stuff like that because like I said, this is something that we need this in this industry right now. With the way that things are right now, the entertainment business is just right now down the drain. So I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of tired of seeing that. So I'm like, you know what? Just let me do my own thing, and this is where we are today, which is fun, to see something different, and be able to share with y'all and stuff like that. Let's see, is an article on Supergun apparently earning 1 million or something. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of articles out there that are coming out. I'm not buying it, honestly, in the sense of it's just lies. That's all. It's all completely, just fabricated. That's all it is. They're just trying to, promote whatever nonsense it is with all these flops and stuff like that. So, you know, DC is not what it used to be anymore. Honestly, that company has changed so much that it's like, what the hell has happened to them? But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with my comic, honestly, because somebody has to do it. Honestly, like somebody has to do something different in this entertainment business, and like who better than than what I'm bringing to you? Something new, something different, something unique, something original, something that we don't see anymore. Which is just good entertainment. A lot of people want that, and that's what I'm delivering with this. And as we keep on moving forward and stuff like that, I'm already working on issue two, so that's already a done deal. I've already started working on the second one and stuff like that. So, hell yeah, you already know I Restore the Snyderverse. That's why, like I said, like this comic that I'm doing, it does have a lot of influence from that and stuff like that. So, it's just my version, if you want to say. But make sure y'all check that out. If you haven't got it, make sure to get yours and stuff like that. Because, like I said, working on some other things along with this, and issue two, that's the next one that I'm working on. And the way that I'm gonna be doing it is gonna be the following. So in case you're like, oh damn, you're gonna be putting out a issue every month and stuff like that. No, it's not gonna be like that. I'll be honest with you. The way that I'm gonna be putting out these comics right now, just because I'm a one man doing everything myself. Till things pick up and stuff like that. Meaning like I get the help and things, start building the right team and all that. Um, I'm gonna be putting out one issue per season. So for example, right now, this first issue, it dropped out. It barely made it out of like summer, but it's officially a fall release. So it's gonna be for the next, I think, what, 3 months that fall lasts, and then I'm gonna start working now. So by winter, the issue two will be out and stuff. So that's how I'm gonna be doing it. Then when issue two is out, then I'll start working on issue three, which is gonna be for what comes after winter, spring, and then summer. So I'm gonna be putting out probably like 4 issues a year, just to give time to build up and stuff like that. I'm not going to be rushing anything. I'm gonna be taking my time, but moving forward at the pace that I have to go and stuff like that. Because like I said, I am planning some other things. Besides issue two, I'm working on some other little side things that's gonna be coming with it. So y'all gonna be seeing and all that stuff. all these updates and stuff. Ride or Die SB, what's up? It's cool as fuck, bro. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. That was me. Honestly, that was me drawing this morning. If you could see the picture like real close, that was like at 2:20. What it was 2:22 in the morning that I was finished drawing that. So like I was preparing things last minute. That's what I'm telling you. Like it's very time consuming. And that cover took me probably like a good almost like what probably like about like 2 hours, 2 hours and a half. But it's worth it, honestly. Like I didn't mind. I was just listening to music, just drawing and stuff like that. And it's finally here. It's finally here. And I'm excited. I'm excited to finally share this with y'all and stuff like that. Again, I want to say thanks to everybody that's been mine because like I've been getting a lot of orders and stuff like that. So that's good. That's good. And I hope y'all enjoy everything that's coming out from it. Of course, more things are gonna be coming from this and things. Um, this is it's a new different type of universe in the sense of with these characters, they're all original, so they're all unknown right now, of course. And things are gonna be like they're gonna be taking their own course. And if you already read the comic and if you already got it and stuff like that, drop it in the feed, drop it in the feed if you've already got it and stuff like that. um but it is going to be opening doors to a lot of things. It's already introducing characters, towards the next issues that are coming out. And yeah, I say issues because I'm working on more and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm going to be dropping one issue per season. That way it gives time for people to catch up and, pretty much enjoy it and stuff like that. So it's going to be like like one issue per 90 days. I know it's gonna be like that. That's a long time, but that's just for now. Later on, then they'll be dropping a little bit more back to back and stuff. So it'll be a lot more easier and stuff. Is there any indication that if Comcast gets WB, they want to return to the CEU like with Skydance? Right now, we don't know anything. Everything is right now up in the air. Everything is just speculation. Nobody knows 100% anything. We don't even know the amount that any of these companies are going to bid right now. Everything is just rumor right now. Remember, we heard this also a few years ago. This is not new. We know for a few years ago, and that's why we had started hearing when people were like, oh, when they asked Zach if would he come back and stuff for more Snyderverse and stuff, he's like, yeah. And then even he was like, if Netflix acquired it, and yeah, he'll come back. But the thing is, they can go ahead and make an offer. Like these rumors are going around right now, but we don't know what's gonna come from it. I think I have a feeling that WB. Remember, WB is very stubborn, and they like to feel like they're above everything, in the sense of they feel that they're better. So when they're financially a little bit better, Sean, what's up? They just feel like they're unstoppable and untouchable, and that's the problem with a lot of these companies in this industry. Now, let's not forget the mighty Marvel. Marvel was at the top of the mountain, and they pretty much brought themselves down. And that's the same thing with DC. They did the same thing also. And like all these companies can make a big offer. Now everything's going to rely on David Zaslav. If he wants to accept the offer, that's on him. If he doesn't, that's also on him. But at this point, it's best that he sells, because to whoever the hell buys it, honestly. Because let's be real, once this bidding war starts going on, they're gonna be like, yo, like we really, really need to, step up the game, because we're gonna start seeing and hearing big offers. The question is, how much are they willing to spend for it, and is the studio willing to accept the offer? Edward, what's up? What's up? Just here chilling with y'all. It all depends. It all depends. But officially, we haven't heard anything since like probably like it's been like almost like a week and a half. We haven't officially heard anything. But they are preparing the bids. So, and of course, the next quarters are starting with companies and stuff like that. While we're getting to the next quarters, they're finishing up, they're wrapping things up, and again, we're getting towards the end of the year. So, a lot of things we probably might not even hear officially anything until probably January. I'm just speculating because the way that things are right now, they're just probably preparing stuff to make that offer. Because of budgets and the way that things are with the in the industry, meaning like how they want to do their finances and stuff like that. Sergeant, what's up? We appreciate that. Yes, yes. Finally, it's officially released. About time. Finally, we could talk about it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, It all depends. It really just depends on what the studios want to do, and I mean studios like the ones that want to bid, and in the end, Warner Brothers if they want to accept or they want to decline, because in the end, it's all about what WB wants to do. If they want to accept the offer and sell it, or they could just decline it and be like, nah, we're gonna pass on it, because they probably feel like because their stocks are starting to go back up again. Last time I saw it was probably like $19 or something like that, which is still bad compared to like what other companies are and stuff like that. But it is good to see finally that they're starting to move up a little bit. The only reason why that's happening is just because everybody's talking about this whole, buyout and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why it's gone up. But besides that, their shows are performing bad. Like nobody's watching them, and it's just not interesting. A lot of people they've lost a lot of views. People are just not tuning in like they used to. Peacemaker's just not bringing them, the views that they thought that they were going to get and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with that. Jeremy, what's up? Do you think that once Comcast or Netflix owns WBDC, you think that they're going to kick out James Gunn? Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, if let's look at it from this perspective, all right? Realistically, let's just say, for just for shits and giggles, that Netflix does buy WB. The things that I can see what Netflix doing is like a lot of people have been saying. They're like, oh, but do you think they're gonna continue 2 universes or 3 universes, or do you think they're gonna go back to one? Everything is speculation. Everything is just speculation. Nobody knows, But if Skydance and Paramount were to get them, or Comcast, what I think would be happening would be the following: these companies don't play around when it comes to money. They're about making money and they want to make money. They're going to look at it realistically because remember, numbers don't lie. They're going to be like, okay, let's be real. Superman from James Gunn came out. How did it do? Oh, it did this much at the box office. Okay. Now let's go back and look at what Zach did with Man of Steel. How much did that do? They're gonna look at numbers and they're going to also look at like how things go with inflation and like the prices of the time, the economy, all of that goes into play. So in the end, they're gonna determine. They're gonna see, what worked and what didn't work. And when they see that with James Gunn, it hasn't been working and it's not working, and the fans are not happy, chances are they're just gonna say, you know what, we're not going to extend the contract with James Gunn. We're gonna cancel everything. We're just gonna continue doing what was working, which was the Snyderverse, and that's what Paramount was doing. Paramount had to learn the hard way. Paramount was just like WB. They were stubborn. They wanted to get away from Michael Bay. They wanted to do their own thing. Oh, we want to go ahead and make a soft reboot. We want to make another soft reboot, and we want to make another soft reboot. And what happened? They all tanked. They all did. They all tanked. Let's be real. Transformers 1, which was the most G1 to whatever that fans love and stuff, people didn't show up. They just didn't. Because people are just tired of all these reboots and you're doing so much to it. So people are exhausted. They don't believe anymore in the Transformers IP. This is why when you see in the what do you call it? It's like in a lot of comments and that rumor we just heard that they're bringing back Michael Bay, that means that they're going back to what worked. Go back to the drawing board. What made you guys money? Michael Bay. When you had the Transformers IP, what saved the IP? Michael Bay. What made you $1 billion? Michael Bay. And the same thing with Zack Snyder. What worked for DC when they were, going up against Marvel? The Snyderverse. What happened? The studio got in the way. And to everybody that keeps on denying and saying, oh no, but the Snyderverse was a flop. No, it wasn't. It made more money than where we are right now. Everything made more money with Zack Snyder than where we are right now. It's just the fake paid critics, especially Rotten Tomatoes, that they like to fabricate all these fake lies and say, "Oh, it wasn't received well." They're experts at lying. They're experts. What do you think James Gunn does? He's an expert at lying. So you think that these companies like Paramount, Skydance, Comcast, and Netflix are gonna be like, "Yeah, let's bring on board James Gunn," that's been costing the money, been costing the studio money to continue? It wouldn't make sense financially. It just wouldn't. You have to get rid of that, that problem, that issue, which is him, and you have to go back to what's working. If Paramount is able to bring back Michael Bay and they want to do whatever the hell they want to, as long as Michael Bay is directing it, the next Transformers movie, do it. They know that they're going to make money again. And DC under Warner Brothers hasn't been working, especially not with what they've been doing with the last, what, 3 or 4 regimes. Everything has started with Kevin Tsujihara, Walter Hamada, and Sarnoff, and now where we are right now with James Gunn. So all of these regimes from DC have just been destroying their own cinematic universe, if you want, because they've been so desperate trying to be like Marvel for over 12 years, and they still can't even get off of phase one. They don't know what phase they're in, and everything that they want to put out, it's, oh, we're gonna do this, but we're gonna do that. No, but we're gonna go back and we're gonna do this. Nah, yo, at this point, if you thought it was bad with Zack Snyder, that's nothing. That was ham. James Gunn has made so many crossroads, zigzags, everything in the road, everything is tangled up. At this point with James Gunn, you cannot fix the company anymore. You just can't. You cannot. Financially, it's ruined. It is completely ruined. So what do they need to go? Back to what worked, which was Zack Snyder, the Snyderverse, David Ayer. This is why I've been telling y'all about that rumor that's been going on. Remember, in 3 months, we're in September right now. We're about to enter October, November, December. 3 months, all right? In January 2026, Comcast comes into play with HBO Max. And Comcast requested and asked for Zack Snyder specifically and for David Ayer because they want to do alternative DC content for HBO Max. Is something happening in the background? Could something be right now cooking as we speak? I think so. I think that something is happening. And notice how everybody's been quiet. Zach hasn't said anything. David Ayer hasn't said anything, but they did put up pictures of them inside WB recently. Remember, they were on the lot. And this is why you see that picture with James Gunn, trying to get clout from Zack Snyder. Oh, I'm here with my friend Zack Snyder. Hold on, let's analyze that picture. When Zack is taking a picture with somebody and it's his friend, Zack will share it on his Vero and all his accounts. That means that, yo, he's legit. Till this day, Zack still haven't shared that picture. What does that tell you? That James Gunn just came across Zack Snyder. That's like anybody. Oh, I came across, guess who I came across today in the store? Or guess who I came across at the job? Let me take a picture. Oh, let's take a selfie. Hey, look, I'm here with my BFF. When in reality, you're just trying to do that for likes, for clout. And that's what James Gunn did. James Gunn and Zack Snyder are not really friends like that. Like, are they like, remember, in this industry, you're gonna come across a lot of people. What do you think? The day of tomorrow, Zack Snyder can encounter Joss Whedon on the lot or in one production company? It can happen. It can happen. Can he come across with Michael Bay? The same thing. They could both take a picture, and then people gonna be speculating. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, James Gunn hasn't been working for WB, and all of these companies that are ready to buy them out. I'm telling you right now, the first type of action that they're gonna take is like, we gotta get him out. We gotta get him out because he's damaging the brand, and these companies know it. This is why they're all gonna go up against it, and they're gonna make the biggest bids. Now it all depends on what David Zaslav wants to do, if he wants to sell it. Because let's be real, he doesn't have to sell it. David Zaslav has no reason to sell right now because yes, WB is doing bad. They're not financially doing the way that they should, but they're not in a situation where they have to sell. Keyword have to. Not yet. They don't have to sell right now. They're in a point that, yeah, they need to make money, and that's why they're selling out little small IPs and leasing things here and there. But WB is so stubborn because they know they screwed up with Zack Snyder. They know that they screw up with us, the fans. So they're going to be like, yo, how do we get away from it without getting away from it? You get what I'm saying? Like, they won't admit their mistake because they just don't have the face to do it. And these companies that want to buy them out, they're going to be like, you know what? We got to get rid of him in the sense of, for us to save this company, we have to go back to what's working. And that was continuing Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. We never got a Ben Affleck movie. Now would be the perfect time once they buy them out to do a Ben Affleck movie. And the perfect one will be The Dark Knight Returns. And we know that Zack and Ben have both said, yeah, we're ready to come back. All we were waiting for is the call. That's it. And let's not forget, James Gunn screwed everything up the moment that he stepped foot at WB. The moment he got appointed as CEO, James Gunn was like, "Yeah, I have that gauntlet, that the freaking Thanos glove," and he started eliminating, destroying, erasing, retconning, if you want to call it now, everything that has to do because he knows the backlash that's coming from it. This is why James Gunn is trying to keep his hands clean with while they're dirty, in the sense of he knows that he screwed up, but will he admit and say it? No. Will the studio do it? No. They're just gonna try to like, oh, we're slowly gonna branch off away from it. Like try to get everybody to not talk about it, not know about it. They're trying to slowly bury it. That's what it is, and it's just unfortunately, no matter what they do, how many reboots they do, the Snyderverse is always going to haunt them. And look at how shady WB is. For Batman Day, they didn't even acknowledge Ben Affleck. What type of bullshit is that? That tells you everything. This is why I'm telling y'all, you have to speak with your wallets. You want WB to be sold, you have to keep those wallets closed right now. You have to lock those wallets. You can't be out there supporting the stuff that they're putting out, because if you support it, then they know that they're making money off of us. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, so yeah, you don't like us, but you're still supporting us. You get what I'm saying? So that's the thing that has to happen with that. Until they don't see that and they're forced to sell, which is getting there. Remember, it's getting there. Superman didn't save DC. It didn't save WB. On the contrary, it hurt them more than what they're hurting right now. It was so bad. That's why they pushed and they delayed Mortal Kombat 2 for next year, because of the freaking, what is it, the poor performance of Superman. They didn't make the money that they thought they were gonna get. So that's why they're like, nah, we can't take another risk with Mortal Kombat. Let's just push that till next year, because they're trying to have it close to when Supergirl releases, which that's also going to flop. Supergirl's going to be the easiest movie to tank out of everything that they're going to put out. I'm telling you, Clayface is going to be another one that's going to tank. Just because it's R rated and it's going to be a quote unquote horror, don't think that that's going to make money. It's not. I'm telling you right now. It is this whole thing with DC with James Gunn, it's nothing but a whole spaghetti string. Like everything is so tangled up. It's so tangled up that it's nuts. It's completely nuts. You know, it's like they know it. They know that they're done. You know, the thing is, how much longer do they want to keep continue with this? And we already know that James Gunn's contract is going to expire next year in November 2026. So James Gunn, while he has power and authority to a certain point, that dude's just going to be like, I'm going to go ahead and greenlight everything. We don't care if that thing is done, if it's ready. We're just going to start putting it out, because he knows that his time is running out. So he's like, yo, before I go, I want to leave my mark. I want to do my trilogy of Superman. That's why he's doing this whole Superman saga, because he's completely desperate on that part. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's just gotten out of control where it's like, man, you know what? This is insane, honestly. Um, yeah, even on HBO Max, people are not watching it, but then they want to force it and say, "Oh, that's the show that everybody's watching." I mean, there's nothing else to watch, so obviously they're gonna be getting, quote unquote, high ratings in the sense of everybody's watching it because they don't have nothing else to watch. Now, when Netflix comes out and they brought out Rebel Moon, we know it trend for a while, on the number one spot, and they have a bunch of shows. So it's like you can't make that up. And it wasn't over only in the U.S. It was all over the world. It's trending all over the world. Rebel Moon, but then Superman on their own platform, nobody's watching it. That's the thing. Nobody. Um, yeah. What is it? Clayface sounds like something that shouldn't exist, like Madam Web. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm telling you. Look, James Gunn has no idea what he's doing. He has no idea, and it's showing. It's clearly showing. He has no idea what he's doing. I'm telling you, James Gunn is going to be the downfall of everything that he's doing out there, because it's James Gunn. He doesn't know how to be a leader. He's not meant to be a leader. He's a director. He's good at making his movies and, when it comes to whatever it is that he's filming. But as a leader of DC Studios, nah, he's not, honestly. You think Paramount Skydance purchased WB that they'll get a crossover with Transformers? Most likely. Yeah, most likely, because they're gonna own both of the IPs if they buy them. If they're the ones that end up owning it, yeah, they could do that. They could also do a bunch of things too, with the live action and stuff. So who knows what could come from it? Who's to say that the movies James Gunn greenlight will see the light of day. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. I agree with you, Raheem. Um, he could put out, like, oh, I'm gonna do this movie, but yeah, look at The Authority that got canceled, and then he's trying to cover it up and say, oh, because they feel this and that. Nah, just admit it. You just don't have no clue what you're doing, honestly. Probably the studio was like, nah, we don't believe in that. So that's why they ended up just canceling it. And but it's gonna happen. It's just people are just not interested in it. Let's see. Yeah, James Gunn's a certified clown. Complete. He's literally running WB. I mean, DC Studios like a circus. But it's showing you. It's proven what it's all about and stuff like that. And unfortunately, it's just not working. It really isn't. And the studios, they're gonna pay the price literally. And the high price is going to be that they're gonna be forced to sell, and that's what it's all coming down to. This is why now the rumor that's coming out is that David Zaslav does want to sell it because he needs, the money from it. Of course, because the debt that they have so much debt. WB has so much debt, more than what they're making profit. And that's what people need to understand, that even though that they're a company, with all this money that they have, their debt is absorbing all of that. So everything that they make, like from Dune, Barbie, Minecraft, Superman, all of those what they're calling, these new flops, financial success, that it's making the money, that's all going to the debts that they owe. So it's like, where's the money? It went directly to the debt. You get what I'm saying? This is why they're so desperate, and James Gunn's doing what he's doing, because completely it's not working. What are your thoughts on DC Comics current day? The DC Comics right now is, and it's not right now. It's been for a while. It's just like Marvel. They're down the drain. They're not working. They're not working. I'm gonna be honest with you. I keep hearing a lot of good things about Absolute Batman, but I'm gonna be honest with you. It just doesn't catch my attention. That doesn't catch my attention. I don't care how dark it is, how gory it is, how serious it is. It just doesn't drag my attention, honestly. Like it has to catch your attention, and that's the problem. It's just not catching people's attention like that. But then they're gonna come out and fake all these numbers and say, oh, we sold them out a certain amount of copies and this and that, and they're just creating fake numbers. That's all. I can go ahead and tell y'all right now, yo, I just sold 1 million of my comic books. I'll be bullshitting you. I can go ahead and lie like that, but I'm not, because that's not what it is, and that's what they do. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the thing with DC and all these companies. Marvel does it too. They fabricate all these fake numbers, and oh, this is what's really going on, but nobody's buying them. You want to know what's really selling? Manga. Manga selling. Manga is crushing the comic industry. The comic industry, unfortunately, is a joke right now. It really is a joke. But it's because of the past 12 years, 14 years, it's been all about, you know, um, going woke, pushing an agenda, pushing some type of a message, political or whatever. That's what has damaged the comic industry, you know? This is why I'm telling you, in my comic, you're not gonna find none of that. I'm not pushing none of that trash in my stuff, honestly. And it's affected everything, you know? The sales of comic books of right now are bad because we've allowed that. We've allowed that. We don't go out and support these comics, but it's not our fault. We're the fans, customers, and consumers. But if Marvel and DC, Dark Horse, and all these comics are giving us trash, why are we going to buy it? You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. And people are tired of that. Constantly, always getting, oh, like you have Marvel, you have DC, they're constantly throwing you some type of a message. People don't want that. People just want entertainment. That's it. And when they try to lecture you in your comics and in your movies, how many times haven't we seen that? Perfect movie was The Marvels. That movie was trash. It was so bad, I haven't even seen it. But the trailer already told me everything that the movie was going to be. You get what I'm saying? Look at what they did with the Hulk. You can't compare the Hulk from the first Avengers movie to the last Avengers movie. What did they do with the Hulk? They softened him up. Hulk in a restaurant drinking what was coffee. He looks like a nerd, like a bookworm. I'm like, dude, that's not the Hulk. The Hulk's supposed to be this big angry dude, like you throwing rockets at him. He's fighting back like he saw in the first Avengers. No, you know what that is? They just wanted to soften him up and make him look like a puss. That's what it is. And that's what they did. They achieved it. And this is why you see the shows like She-Hulk twerking with freaking a celebrity. I'm like, what? What does this even have to do with what we're watching? And that's the same thing now. What's happening with James Gunn and Peacemaker? James Gunn is so obsessed with Peacemaker. That's all he knows how to talk about. Peacemaker this and Peacemaker that. It's like that's the only character they have. They don't care about no other character. They don't even care about Superman. But it shows you and it proves to you this is where this industry is at right now. This is what it is. Honestly. And the comics is not saving it. James Gunn is not saving it. The DCU is not saving it. Nothing is working. Meanwhile, you have all the sales going to manga. Manga is dominating the charts, and it's now dominating, at the box office because you have Demon Slayer, a big popular, anime or manga, if you want to say, and in like what, like a weekend, 2 weekends, they made what already Superman has made like in 3 months, 500 million plus. That's not. That's nuts. That's insane, but it's because they know how to deliver to the fans. They know how to give to the consumers what they want. Meanwhile, you have DC still trying to figure out what phase are we in. I think we're in one, maybe going to 1.5. They have no clue. They really have no clue. Yeah, exactly. She-Hulk, attorney at law, was a shit. It's like, yo, like, and everything has to be a message. That's the problem. They focus too much on a message because low key they're pushing an agenda, and that's what's all these comic companies doing. They've been doing that with Power Rangers. They've been doing that with what else? With Marvel characters. We've been seeing that with everything. You don't believe me? Go look into it. For crying out loud, they even did it with the Transformers. They brought in that whole woke message with Transformers. Let's just think about that. Let's just think about that. How the hell are you gonna tell me, as the fan, as the viewer, that you're gonna go ahead and bring in that agenda with the Transformers? They're machines, for crying out loud. They're freaking robots. Robots don't have a sex. They're just a machine. Why are we labeling them as a female and a male? It's a freaking machine. They should be fighting, going at it. Don't give me that. Oh, but this character feels like this and it identifies as that. I don't give two shits. I just want to know what side are they on. Are they an Autobot or are they or the Decepticon? I want to know what the hell's going on. But then they want to tie you in and tangle you with all this. And the next thing you know, this is why it's at where it's at. It's happening with the gaming industry, with the movie industry, the comics, everything, because they don't care. Meaning these corporations, they don't care, and then they want to know why their sales are doing terrible. You know, it's completely. We're at the Gods and Monsters chapter for the DCU right now. Yeah, but it's more of like monsters, if you want to say. It's a mess. It's a mess. James gonna say he wants to cast an unknown for Batman. He's desperate for Batman to save his failing universe. Yep. He doesn't. He knows he can't pull this. He knows he can't. The damage is far too done. It's too much. It's too much. The studio knows that they've dropped the ball. They know that they've messed up, but they don't care. They don't care. And this whole 10-year plan, that's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now. Once this buyout does happen, I'm telling you right now, things are going to completely do a 360, and things are going to shift. People don't want to, they don't want to believe it. They don't want to see it. And it's there. It's there in plain sight. This is why you're seeing all these James Gunn fanatics coming out now and being nastier than before, because they know that they have their days numbered at WB. They know that WB has their days numbered before this buyout comes in. Once this buyout comes into effect, in the sense of, okay, this is real, this is happening, like, they're preparing already what numbers to offer to WB. And once Zazov sees that, hey, these people are willing to pay this much money, they're not gonna turn it down. They really can't. If they turn it down, I'm telling you right now, that's going to affect the industry and everything. Everything. It's gonna be like during the writer's block. Remember how that affected everything for like what, like a year or two? That's gonna do the same thing to this. It's going to affect it, but even worse. Because now you have, you know, editors, directors, you have music composers, you have special effects, makeup artists, you have everybody, everybody. they're all going to be laid off, or they're going to lose jobs because it's going to affect everything. WB can't afford to keep going the way that they're going. They're not making money. Why are you going to stay afloat? Just sell it. Sell it to somebody that's willing to pay top dollar and accept it and just move on, I guess, you know? David Zaslav has no clue what he's doing with this company. You know, it's completely a nightmare, you know? We'll see what's going to happen, you know? Yeah, you're disappointed on 28 years later. Yeah, that movie was very bad. It was really bad. Trust me. I'm not even gonna watch the next one just because I'm like I didn't like the one that they just put out. It was completely a letdown. It was really bad. We don't kill justice. What? Literally kills kaiju and yeah, that's what it is. I'm telling you, that's all it is. What do you think about the Insomnia Wolverine trailer? The Wolverine trailer looks dope. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think they went a little too overboard with how violent it's gonna be. Like I think they're trying too hard to push that. Like it's okay, they're gonna do like the R-rated version of Wolverine and stuff like that, but I just feel it's like it's too much. It's a little too much. It's unnecessary. It's like, yo, y'all went overboard with that. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, like can't they balance things out? It's either they don't do enough, or when they do too much. And I'm like, what's so hard? Like it didn't have, I don't know, I felt that it was just too much. Like it's just way too gory. A lot of parents are not gonna let their kids play that, and they're gonna lose money with that. They're really going to lose a lot of money, just because of that. You know, like it was too much. I think it was a little bit too much. They're making Wolverine look like straight up like he's a psychopath. Disney's not selling as well. Nah, Disney is another one too. They're doing bad. If you ever gone to Disney, wherever you're at, you know, whether in Florida or in California, if you look at the prices on the things that they're selling, they're not moving because it's one is too overpriced, and two is nuts. It's really insane, and it's like it's crazy. It's crazy. People used to pay it before because they were more, you know, more popular and loved. But now, especially with the way that Disney is, like they've been really shady. WB is the same thing too. You know, and it's affecting them. It's really affecting them in every way. It's not just with the movies and stuff. It's affecting them with everything, literally with everything. That's why notice how they delayed what is it, Doomsday. We are supposed to get it, I think what it was, next year, and then they're pushing it to like a year later. And I'm like, damn, man, like I don't want to wait another year. I want to see that already. I want to see what they're gonna do. Um, but who knows? Who knows again what the plan is with them and stuff like that. So as long as they put out good content, they'll be fine. But right now, how the way that they're putting out things, this is why if you look at it, Wolverine, that new game, that's what I've been saying. The whole agenda woke crap that's already come to an end. People are tired of that. It's proven. That Wolverine game shows you if that Wolverine games was released like 3 years ago, oh nah, I'm telling you right now, that wouldn't be allowed. It would have been censored. They would have like straight up, yo, we have to like make some type of agenda. You know, we're gonna make this game as an example. Like that's what they were gonna do. I'm telling you, it's releasing at the right time because now all of this, you know, agenda stuff is it's fading away. People are tired of that. You know, and let's be real, common sense is making a comeback. That's it. You know, people are waking up from all the lies of people. You know, people are realizing that what they had originally, people were they were being led. They were lied to. You know, and now people are realizing, you know, like it's just waking people up. And with that waking people up things, this is another thing too that I'm seeing as we keep on moving forward with the way that things are going right now with Hollywood. Hollywood is doing bad right now. Like it's doing really bad. You know, like they're not doing good. This is gonna open the doors for independent creators because the future is going to be more on independent creators because people are tired. That's why you see people more on YouTube, on TikTok and Instagram on feeds and stuff like that because people don't want to hear what the mainstream tells you anymore. They don't. People want to see what other YouTubers are talking about, what they're saying. That's what people want. People want to hear it how it is. People don't want to be hearing lies no more. They're tired of that, and people are waking up, which is a good thing. You know, it's about time, and you know it has to happen because People need to realize that good entertainment and stuff out there is still there. It's just, where is it? That's the thing, and that's what the mainstream hides from us. They don't want people to know where the good entertainment is at, you know. And when you have stuff like what James Gunn is pushing, you know, what Marvel is pushing, it's not working. It's just not working, you know. Nobody's barely watching Peacemaker. Barely anybody's watching that. Was barely watching Creature Commandos. Notice how they don't even talk about that crap no more. See what I'm saying? So it tells you it's just a phase. They're literally going through a phase. But here we are, 12 years later, still talking about Man of Steel. Man of Steel released 12 years ago, over a decade, and we're still talking about it like if it was like within the past 3 years. That's insane. That's insane. That's what I'm saying. The Superman with James Gunn should have, it should have made $1 billion, but it didn't. On the contrary, it proved us right. We knew that it wasn't gonna work for them, and they have to realize, yo, what you guys did, it wasn't it. It wasn't it. You know, and that's what you don't. That's what all these James Gunn cultures are coming out with, crying and complaining because they're like, oh no, you don't accept what they're putting out. Nah, I just refuse to eat slop that they're putting out, because that's what it is. It's just forced slop. You know, like on your plate, they're literally serving you this big old sloppy slop. Oh, you're gonna eat it. I'm not eating that, you know, and that's what it is. But in the end, like I said, I'm waiting. Like all of us are waiting to see what this update with the bids are gonna be soon, because we don't know how much Netflix is gonna bid yet. We don't know how much Comcast and Skydance with Paramount. We don't know. Nobody knows the amount. You know, we know that, you know, Skydance acquired Paramount. They did the merger for $8 billion. That's a lot of money. Well, when you compare it to other companies, I mean, it's not that much, because of course, you know, like Comcast has probably more than that. But the point is, how much are they willing to spend to buy out WB? And is David Zaslav going to accept the offer? You know, it's gonna be completely. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen with all that and stuff like that. Did you know Mortal Kombat wanted it to be DC versus MK, but the studio said no? Oh, really? I had no idea. I didn't know that that's what they wanted to do. Yeah, but I don't think they want to, because of course, remember, DC is supposed to be like PG-13, and Mortal Kombat is straight rated R. So like that they wouldn't work, you know, because this is like the game, you know. But I think that the studio, they screwed up. They could have done it. They should have done it, you know. But instead, look at where they are right now. You know, I think they're in a worse situation than they are right now. Matt Reeves wants his private with Batman not join DCU, but can't happen. Batman 2 will cancel for good. Most likely. I'm telling you, that Batman 2, they could go ahead and film. They could do whatever they want. Remember, they did the same thing with Batgirl. And in the end, they canceled Batgirl. You know? So it's like, if they did that with Batgirl, what makes you think that they can't do the same thing with James Gunn? They can't do the same thing with Matt Reeves? They can. They can do it. If they feel that it's like, yo, it's cheaper for us to do a tax write off, so be it. And that's what they did with Batgirl, you know? Did I see the trailer for The Witcher? Nah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. That's we're gonna see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, you know, because this industry is constantly shifting, and sometimes for good and sometimes for the bad. But it's interesting to see how things are right now with them, and I think with the way that things continue to go, we're gonna find out more, you know, of everything. Pedro, what's up? James Gunn was a lie. Superman film have comedy. Yeah, straight up James Gunn Superman is just but comedy. That's it. It's just a comedy film. If the Batman 2 is canceled, I would be furious. Yeah, a lot of people would be, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna see daylight. They're gonna film. They're gonna do everything that they want right now, but in the end, I don't think it's gonna really see daylight. Honestly, you know, they can go ahead and say, "Oh, we're gonna film. We're doing it." They did the same thing with Batgirl. They did the same. They filmed Batgirl. That movie's ready, but it's sitting in a vault because WB decided, nah, we can't release that. But they did a tax write off, which was cheaper for them. Pedro, yeah, you already know. Restore the Snyderverse. Hell yeah, that's where the money's at. That's what's gonna save the studio. All the studio needs to do, and I think that's once somebody acquires it, whoever the hell it is, I think the first thing they're gonna do is announce that they're gonna be like, "Yo, we're gonna bring in Zack Snyder and we're gonna go back." or they're gonna probably do a tease. I'm just speculating what I would do. I would straight up make a tease official announcement like on Twitter or whatever social media, and just put a picture of Zach and just put the word at the top, just restored. Yo, that's it. That right there would get the internet. Yo, that would have everybody talking. Everybody straight up would be talking on that. Have you seen the Mandalorian and Gru trailer from Star Wars? No, not the new one. I didn't see the new trailer. Let's see. Do you remember Justice League Mortal 2007 was canceled? Army Hammer was as Batman. Yeah, yeah, he was supposed to be in it and stuff. So many things has changed since then. Superman Returns is better, 1,000 times better than James Gunn's Superman. Yep, yeah, I agree with you. Or if MCU's Blade is canceled, I'll be ultra furious. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think that Blade movie. I don't believe in superstition, but I'm gonna tell you straight up. I think that movie is just straight up haunted. Because every time that they want to do something with Blade, it never happens. Every single time. Notice that. It's always something with Blade. They delay it, they cancel it, they get a new director. It's always something with that movie. It's like life is telling them, yo, Blade is not meant to be made, period. They should just accept it. I think at this point, Marvel should just realize and say, you know what? We're not even making a Blade movie. We're just gonna keep doing what we're doing. Do what they did like with Deadpool and Wolverine. They brought in Wesley again. He reprised his role, and that's it. Move away from the character. You have other characters you could be focusing on. Like stop worrying about a character that it's not going to happen. Blade has been so dramatic in the sense of that movie is never gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. It's always something. Like for the past 5 years, I think it's since COVID we've been hearing, oh, they're gonna start filming. Oh no, production got delayed. No, it got canceled. A new director came on board. The director walked out. It's always something with them, man. Like it kind of sucks, but it's like, man, like, do they really need a Blade movie? Let's be real. Do they really need one? I'm like, I don't think so. You know, I think at this point it's just like, yo, just keep doing what's going on and stuff. Yeah, but no company is going into the process of making a movie just to write it off. Yeah, that's true. They don't go into that mentality, but you always have to have that ready just in case, because in the end, a tax write off is a tax write off. You know, the amount of money you spend will not compare to the money you save in taxes. Yeah, but this is the industry, so it's different, and this is why you see when Hollywood. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but with Hollywood, when they make movies, they always like to do incentives and what is it, tax free and stuff, where they're not getting taxed. That's what James Gunn was doing with Superman. I'm not sure if you know about that, but when they were filming the city, I think it was the state of Ohio or whatever, they ended up giving them, I think it was like what, like I don't know how much it was, like a couple. I don't know. I don't even know the exact amount, but I know they gave them a big a discount supposedly, from taxes and stuff like that. So how does it work? I have no idea. I really don't know how that stuff goes. Do you think Chris Evans, Cap, and Cavill, Super Cavill, will be best friends if they met? Yeah, I think they would. I think they would, honestly. That would be nice to see a team up. But yeah, it's something that won't happen for sure. Would be nice, but yeah, that unfortunately I don't even see that happening. I'm not worried. DCU right now. Forget DCU. Let them flop. DCU films. Let's see. How's your day going? It's been chill. It's been chill. James Gunn says Batman DCU right now. I think it's Chris Pratt as Batman. Yeah, man. I know a lot of people are saying that Chris Pratt is not going to be it, but notice how he hasn't even said it himself. Chris Pratt hasn't come out on social media and said, "Oh, I'm not gonna be Batman or anything." Nah, I think low key, I think that's going to be the next Batman. I don't know why, but something just tells me that. And when it does happen, I, I can't wait. I want to see like the reactions of what people are gonna be saying about that. You're not interested in anything from Marvel or DC right now. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you honestly. Like DC, I have no interest. Marvel, I'm still interested because of course Avengers. I'm just interested in the Avengers. Like what's next for that phase, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm looking forward to. Um, but Marvel itself, I'm not interested. Like I really don't even care about what they're putting out right now. I do want to see Secret Wars. Of course, Secret Wars is gonna be nuts when they get to it. But I do want to see Doomsday, and I do want to see the next Spider-Man movie. That's what I'm looking forward to. But whatever's in between, I don't even know what's in between. So, whatever Disney Plus show, I'm not even interested. David Zaslav is a stupid person. Yeah, very a lot of money, but very dumb. He doesn't have no idea what he's doing with the company. I'm curious about Avengers Doomsday because of they make him sympathetic. I'm cool. Let's see. Do you remember WB long time ago had two Batman actor Army Hammer as Batman, Christian Bale as Batman? That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Street Fighter will make so bad trailer and cast. Oh, don't even get me started on Street Fighter, man. Oh, don't even get me started. I know I seen two pictures of no, and I saw a video. I saw the actor that's supposed to be playing Ryu. No, Ken, my bad. And he's dressed up. This movie looks like a shit show. I'm telling you right now, it looks it looks like a parody. Oh my god, I can't believe that they're actually going to do that. Like they got Ken dressed up, with the red whatever those things are called. I don't know that the red uniform that he wears. It's so bad. God, like they're trying so hard. I give them credit that they're putting effort. It's starting to feel like a very cheesy version of the '90s, and I'm kind of concerned. I'm like, please don't tell me that that's what they're doing. It looks like they're trying to go with the '90s feel to it, but a modern version of it. And I'm like, no, don't tell me that. Look around. It's on the internet. I saw that video yesterday with the actor dressed up that he was doing, I guess, his makeup and stuff. And they're doing the tests, I guess, or whatever they're filming. And it's looking bad. It's just not convincing, honestly. I'm worried about that Street Fighter. And 50 Cent the other day came out with a picture, and it shows him with the haircut as and what's his name? Barlog, whatever his name is. Barlog, I don't know his name. The boxer character that he's playing, and I'm like, yo, like I'm just not feeling it. All I see is GGG unit. That's I'm like, I can't, man. I just can't. James Gunn said he doesn't want Camp Batman. James Gunn say so many things. I don't even believe anything he says no more. I know Batman Two Villains is Court of Owls in the film, but that's boring villains. Yeah, a lot of people want that, but I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know what's gonna happen with that. Let's see. Like I said, I'm still excited for both Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter. Hey, good. If you're excited for it, good. Go for it. Like I want to see the Mortal Kombat because I want to see it, of course. But Street Fighter just has me, it has me very concerned, man. Honestly, like I am very, very concerned about that Street Fighter movie. What's gonna happen? I have no idea. Will the trailer maybe convince me? I'm hoping. I'm be honest with you. I really hope it does convince me. But from what I'm seeing right now so far, and this is just like behind the scenes and whatever they're doing, it's just not convincing me. I'm not interested in Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. They have not, well, they have not gone to listen to the fans. Yeah, yeah, they're really not. We'll see. We'll see. What you want to see? Two Face body skeleton CG body or makeover? Nah, just do the whole like whatever they do prosthetics and stuff. If they're gonna do Two Face, just might as well go all out and do it like that. Your favorite is Batgirl. She's awesome. I don't care Supergirl character. Yeah, Batgirl would have been nice to see. I'm curious to see what that movie was gonna be. Unfortunately, it is what it is. What they did with it, but that doesn't stop it. We can see it one day still. If fans are still fighting for the Schumacher cut, then why can't we still fight for Batgirl and the Snyderverse and what we want also? We just want to be included. That's it. We just want to be included. I don't get how James Gunn gets to go ahead and do all these other worlds and universes and everything, but in the end, Snyderverse is not included. I don't get it. I don't get it. It just shows you how much they dislike what Zack Snyder had built. And no matter what they do, it's always going to be there. It doesn't matter because wherever you see the history of DC with Batman, you're always going to see the Snyderverse. Whenever you see Wonder Woman and when you see Superman, you're always going to see Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill. Those were those characters when they were there during their time. And damn it, one day we're going to see it. If after what, like 30 something years, we're able to see Michael Keaton in the flesh to come back in a universe that he doesn't belong because he wasn't part of the DCEU. But WB still wanted to bring him in. They did what they did, and there you go. You got Michael Keaton, and look at how old he is. So that's nonsense when people are like, "Oh, the actors and actresses are getting too old. They don't want to come back." Put a big fat check in front of them, and they'll come back. It doesn't matter if Linda Carter could come back and do a cameo in Wonder Woman. Why can't none of these actors that are not even that age come back? It's just that some of these people just they're just salty about that. Let's see. I wish Ben Affleck should have been Batgirl film. Michael Keaton is kind of hard. Do you know what the Dark Knight Harvey have in common? They both throw tantrums at any inconvenience and both mentally unstable. At 2026, Supergirl will make less than 300 million. Yeah, most likely. Two will probably be a mess for the sequel. Yeah, it's too late to be out these sequels. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, it's like, why are we even doing these sequels? Like seriously, like look at how bad Dumb and Dumber. What it was, the last one they did was after how long? I'm like, come on, man. Like all these movies shouldn't be made. Happy Gilmore, like whatever the recent one. I still haven't even seen it because I'm not even in. This generation doesn't know about that. I don't even know why they're doing that. You hope Pixar's Hoppers flops. Clayface makes more bad CG mess. Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with Clayface, but I don't know. I'm just not interested. I am not interested. I'm not gonna see Clayface. I'm not going to see Man of Tomorrow. I just don't care. I really don't care about it, honestly. What they're doing, I have no interest, honestly. I really don't care. And one thing we should do is we need to stop talking about it because that's what we did with Superman. That's why a lot of people went to go see it because of we gave it too much free publicity, and we need to like kind of like slow that down. And notice how nobody's talking about Peacemaker because we're not giving them free promotion. So that's telling you everything. That's the key right there. We can't acknowledge these films that James Gunn is putting out just because of that. James Gunn and Matt Reeves have both teased Final Crisis. Yeah, but let's see what happens from that. What's your favorite superhero character? Batman. That's my character right there. I'm just not gonna see Clayface. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not gonna see Clayface. It doesn't even drag my attention. It's just I don't care. Oh, it's a horror. I'm just not interested, honestly. But it is what it is. So, but with that being said, again, I'm gonna get going. I appreciate y'all for watching, for tuning in, all that stuff. I just felt that I had to do a quick live stream and stuff like that. Make sure to support the comic. Go out there and get it digitally for now. I'm working on the physical for later, but right now I'm just doing it digital and stuff like that. So I'm already working on the second issue. That should be sometime in winter that it's coming out. Because, like I said earlier in the stream, I'm gonna be putting out one issue per season. That way, it gives time for everybody to catch up and just start jumping on board and stuff as things start picking up and things like that. So the next issue two will be out sometime in winter. So that's gonna be the next season. And then this one right now, like I said, what we're gonna be doing is this is a fall issue. So this one's gonna be for the whole fall, and then the next one will be out by then. So we'll see what's up. You're playing Roblox? Nice, enjoy. Y'all have fun. Y'all chill, do what y'all gotta do. But I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Till then, peace out.